Now, Darin and Anita with your Grand Strand Artist Spotlight.
And welcome back to the show, our Grand Strand Artist Spotlight. In the spotlight today, on the line with me, Chuck Roberson, Southern Soul artist. Chuck, how are you, man?
I am just fine, Darin, and how are you doing?
I'm doing great. And folks, if you don't know Chuck Roberson, Southern Soul Man here, crossing over into Carolina Beach Music Market, and we're going to talk a little bit about that through the interview today. Chuck, a lot of the things I like to ask folks and entertainers and celebrities and that sort of thing is how they got started in this entertainment music industry kind of thing. How did it all happen for you?
It happens like, I guess, with most artists. I started singing in the church.
Right.
I think most of our artists have probably come out of the church, and as a matter of fact, even in school, I had a little band. I always had a little band, so I was working at doing that stuff at a very early age, and then I was discovered by a record producer out of Albany, Georgia, who's passed on to the other side now, but
Right.
had not been for him, I don't think it would be no me today. Jesse Boone, who owned a small record company in Albany, Georgia, discovered me over in Augusta, Georgia,
Right.
at the Anvets Club along with my band. We chit-chatted a minute, and he offered me a contract, and I thought he was just pulling my leg like so many other folk had done while I was seeking to get into it, but he was serious. I imagine about 3 weeks to a month later, he did call me, and then we talked a little bit more, and then he sent me a contract back in 1975. That's when it all started for me.
And I guess the songs that were there, if this is right, is Love Affair and You're Gonna Miss Me When I'm Gone and I Feel It Coming. Is that right?
Right, that is right. Love Affair was the first song that did extremely well for us, and then we came back with the other two. As a matter of fact, I had about 6 or 7 releases over there with him.
Right.
I think about 7 releases over there with him. Well, I would just like to say that, getting to where I am today wasn't an easy task. It definitely was not easy, but then I was not really expecting it to, because, like, I came from a very, very little small town, if you want to say little country town.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I am still living in this little town today. And there was no means of me getting into it other than being discovered by Mr. Boone back in 1975 when we did the Love Affair song.
Right.
So we did the Love Affair song over in Albany on the Albradella label, and it sort of started giving us a lot of notary, I guess you could say.
Right.
People started noticing us a lot. We went from there to the next song with him, and the I Feel It Coming song sort of wrapped his fingers around me getting a toehold, I guess, into the business.
Into the
and
industry.
then I went on from there to Philadelphia International up in Philadelphia
Right.
during the disco era,
Right.
which I had a real big song up on that label called Gusto that did extremely well for us during the disco era.
Yeah,
So
you got it. Now, did you
that's
do all?
basically-
I'm sorry. Did you do all the dancing and stuff like that in the disco era, Chuck? Did you do all that disco fever kind of thing?
Oh, I was very, very good at that. I mean, I'm still moving.
I could see you doing
I'm
that.
still moving a little bit down.
I bet you even still have some of the platform shoes.
Well, I got about 2 pair of them, but now I've gotten too old to wear them.
Oh, no.
The heels are too high now, man.
Well, I tell you, Chuck, if you keep a lot of that stuff, it seems to be coming back. The fashion of the day.
What I really did like, and I would sort of love to see it come back. I was crazy about the bell-bottom pants
Exactly.
during that area of the time. I don't know if they would ever come back again or not, but I loved it that.
I tell you what, well, that's the 70s and the disco era, and you say the song is Gusto that was on there, so folks could go back and look that up.
Yeah, Gusto. It was done with Philadelphia International, but it was on Great Philly Records.
Right.
Which was owned at the time by Philadelphia International. So it was a very, very good. As a matter of fact, I think we got something about like number 5 in the charts on that song.
Well, I tell you, an incredible career it sounds like, and I know you're in the Southern Soul market now, just to catch folks up in what's going on with you in Southern Soul. And I know 1990, Lollypop Man was a big song for you, and what I've read, it became a signature song for you.
Yeah, Lollipop Man. Well, I tell you how Lollipop Man came about. Lollipop Man came about from Marvin C's Candy Liquor.
Right.
I was going to Miami, Florida one day, Darin, and I heard this record, Candy Lick, and I'm saying, God, who is this guy? and by the time I got into Miami, I had the disc jockey, a friend of mine, there to replay that song again so I could listen to it. So the thought hit me right away. Well, if he's the Candy Licker, I can be the Lollypop Man.
I love it. I love it. I tell you.
And that's how it came about.
Oh, that's awesome. Great story on that song. And then just to bring folks up what you've done in the Southern Soul market, and I'm just going to run through these. This is your discography that I've pulled offline here, and you can correct me if some of it may be a little off. In 1996, you had Something Good for You. 97 brought Meet Me Tonight. 99 brought Love Power, and I like this song here. I've got this album, as a matter of fact, Love Freak in 2000. 2001, I'm Your Candy Man. Man, and it just keeps going. 2002, Let's Party. 2003, A Woman Wants a Freak. And do they really want that, Chuck? I had to ask you.
Daryl, I've been asked that. I've been asked that by men and women. I tell you, I don't know. I kind of think,
Yeah,
well, I guess.
A little bit, maybe there, a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, a bit.
And moving on, 2005, Expressions of Yesterday, and in 2009, For Real This Time. And I tell you, man, your career just goes on, and the new album's coming out, and I know it's going to be with Desert Sound Records. Now, tell us a little bit how all this came about with Desert Sound and the new songs, which I'll Take Care of You.
Well, I tell you how that came about, Darin. Good friend of mine, Arkansas Red, a long-time disc jockey out of Chicago, Illinois. He and I has always been very, very close. Some reason and somehow he got a chance to get into Pete Peterson, and then he called me right away because he was so impressed with the work that Pete Peterson and Smitty was doing down in Albany, Georgia. So he gave me a call one night and told me to check him out. After Arkansas Red gave me all the information, I went on the internet and I found Pete's number and I gave Pete a call. We started talking and he had a song for me. As a matter of fact, I think through his communication with Arkansas and knowing of the stuff that I had did in the past, put he and Smitty together right quick to work on the song that we got coming out right now. Right. That's how that came about, man.
It's incredible how it all come together. I know the name of the song and the name of the album, the title cut from the album, I'll Take Care of You.
We're looking for that to probably be the #1 song from the CD, but we got 13 songs on this CD. I think that the entire CD is going to be very, very enjoyable for just about anybody that want to listen to it because we got some real good stuff on this CD.
Well, I tell you, I'll Take Care of You on this CD is an incredible song for the first release.
Well, I tell you, Darin, I think along with myself and the other artists that Pete Peterson and Smitty Smith is putting together, it should be extremely well. I have really enjoyed working with Pete and Smith, man, because these are two of the finest producers right now in the Southern Soul market. So we are just looking forward to have great time and produce a lot of great Southern Soul music.
Well, I'm telling you what, Chuck, everything that's coming from Pete and Smitty down there at Desert Sound Records is off the hook. I've not heard anything that's released by them that's been bad.
Well, I think it's because these two brothers, man, really believe in perfection. They are not producers that just throw something up, put it out, and let it go.
Right, they work.
And I think that's what's going to make Desert Sound Records be one of the most popular record labels in Southern Soul, and I don't think it's going to take very long for it to happen. So with people like you and other jocks around the country, man, it should happen. So maybe we can all grow together.
Sounds great. So start looking for I'll Take Care of You by Chuck Roberson. Release date is early September. And you can find it on Amazon. Very easy to do. Just go to Amazon and search for Chuck Roberson, and you'll find I'll Take Care of You. And everything else is Chuck done. I did that earlier, Chuck, and it's amazing on Amazon. Your name just fills up the whole page of a list there, and it's going to be on the Desert Sounds Records, and you can also find it there. If you go to desertsoundsrecords.com, And just look for Chuck. He's down about middle ways of the page there, and you can read about Chuck, read the bio on there, because, Chuck, I'm telling you, I wish we had a lot of time here on the air to really get into to really your whole career and the whole mesh of it. I love to give the folks the highlights there. But an incredible time you've had and time you're having with this. And let's get ready to spin this for the folks. Chuck, I thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Darin. Right. This is my latest hit. I'll take care of you.
Oh, baby. Sweet little lady. Listen. I work hard 40 hours a week. Overtime if I need to. I'll even take a second job if it means being with you. Won't even cash my paycheck. I'll bring it straight home to you. No other woman can get my attention. Woman, you know I belong to you.
I'll take care of you.
Let me, baby.
Darin and Anita on Grand Strand, a music evolution.